That's just thunderous! Except for my dead eyes, which will not change. Yet this tea is fantastic. Hey guys, so this is my next review in my bucket of movies review of all my movies. This video is like 7 months late, but oh well. And the next one on the list is Beowulf. Now, this is a movie that has aged very interestingly. Mainly, basically from my opening comment. The film looks fantastic still. The whole CG elements are still very well done, because this was a film, this was his second, Robert Zemeckis' second attempt at doing an all kind of CG film. The first one was Polar Express. This one really got the body models much better. It was a much more mature story. But the thing that still doesn't really stand up to today is the eyes. The eyes are dead. Like, there's no movement in the facial structure. Right here, this is where they didn't seem to bother to really get, like, mouth, obviously, mouth is fantastic, but like right here, you basically got a blank slate. You just got the same emotional stare at you the whole movie, and it's a little bit disconcerting, considering no one really changes. The only person his face kind of changes is Anthony Hopkins a little bit up here, but other than that, it's definitely a little bit of a jarring thing. The story of Beowulf is about a legendary warrior who comes to a land that is being plagued by a monster named Grendel. Beowulf comes and defeats the monster, but then he is asked to take on another deed. And this is where the story takes a turn, because in the original tale, he kills his mother. He kills Grendel's mother. But in this story, it's different. He actually succumbs to her power, and he becomes king, and he regrets everything he's done, and to the point where the mother retaliates against him, and he dies defending his kingdom and actually doing a good deed, dying as a hero would. The cast they got for this film is pretty good, considering their lead is nowhere near like what he actually looks like in the movie. They got Ray Winstone, who's a bit of a portly fellow, and he's short. So to see him in this role is definitely interesting. I think even he makes a joke in the documentary or the making of that he's like, I'm only playing a much more sexier version of myself. So I liked this movie. I went and saw it because someone had the audacity to say in the review, this is better than 300. And I couldn't let that stand. So I went and saw it, and this was a film that really utilized 3D. I don't even know. I can't remember if it was in 3D, because James Cameron's Avatar hadn't come out. I think it was in 3D. But admittedly, this was actually pretty good, considering we hadn't reached Avatar 3D yet, and it really utilized the IMAX screen. I admit I like 300 better than this movie, but I still do like it. There are certain animation issues that don't stand up, not only just the faces, but kind of the animal animations, but still, overall, this film is pretty good, considering it's almost 10 years old, if I'm correct. So I think Beowulf is a very good entry into the whole CGI movies. I think it's Zemeckis' best of his three, because he did Christmas Carol, Beowulf, and then he did Polar Express. Sorry, I did that backwards. Anyway, but I think Beowulf is his best one, mainly because he took a hell of a risk in making a mature story with child-ish at the time animation. Obviously it's not, but to do a story with that kind of technology would have been completely balls crazy. And considering it actually did, I think it was made the least out of all three. So, you know what? I'm happy that he tried it, and he really did push putting in human animation, like human interactions, into animating films. And this was a really big push. The story is really good. I like the turn. I like the voice acting. There are a few parts where it's just a little bit silly, and there are some parts of the story that are just kind of not really fleshed out as well. But John Malkovich's character is cool, but you almost want to spend more time with him, but at the same time he also is kind of a useless character. And the story ends very forebodingly, but I like how it ends. So anyway, in the end, my rating for Beowulf is a 5 out of 7. I think it still stands up to today's animation standards in certain ways. I think the soundtrack is really good, so good that I played it on my show. Alan Silvestri's score for this, like, he mixes almost rock with Viking opera at one point, and I remember that just being so incredibly awesome. So definitely a good watch. Now we get to dip into the bucket again. I've updated it with movies that I've gotten over the last few years, so I'm interested in seeing what the next one is. If it's something that I've already reviewed, then I'll just skip on to something else. Ooh, wow. See, this is what I knew I'd like. I'm gonna watch I Saw the Devil next. Now, if any of you have ever seen this, is possibly one of the best South Korean films released within the last 2 decades, other than Old Boy and a few other movies that I don't know of. But I know that I Saw the Devil is amazing, so I can't wait to talk about that movie next. So I'll see you guys next time.